Okay, so I need to speak on this topic because I feel like it's a very important issue that is going around, and perhaps the majority of you have heard of this. If not, then this is something that I feel like needs to be discussed and just spoken about because it's just a very damning situation. But we need to speak about Shaquilla Robinson. For those of you who don't know who she is, a 25-year-old girl who mysteriously passed away whilst vacationing in Mexico last month, and her friends who were with her blamed it on alcohol poisoning. However, the Mexican authorities said on Thursday that the North Carolina hairdresser's death is actually being investigated as a homicide. This actually contradicts what the US Department of State says, that there was no proof of her being murdered. However, that is interesting that they would say that because there's clearly proof that this did not take place at all. I don't know if you guys have seen the video. I'm not going to put up the video. I feel like recirculating the video of her being beaten up by a friend is going to re-trigger her family, and this is a very traumatic situation, and I feel like her parents are going to be traumatized by this, and trauma is very much real. So I definitely feel like if you've seen it, cool, but I don't need to show the video. This is very unnecessary. But in the video you have somebody beating her up, her friend, and she's not obviously fighting back. She probably doesn't know what's going on, and then her other friends filming it saying, why don't you fight back? And it's just like, what kind of friends not only are going to be fighting you, but then are also filming it and saying, fight back. Like, it's just bizarre. These are not friends. It seems to me, from the assumption of initially looking at everything, that perhaps her friends, as they say, probably plotted against her or had some plan. And it's very dangerous when you go abroad with people who may not be close people around you, and when you're abroad in a different country, it can be very scary because you have no idea what's going on. Therefore, you're not equipped in any way for any kind of danger that might come your way. At first, the others who were there claimed that she had passed away from alcohol poisoning. However, guys, the autopsy report provided to the family said something very different took place, where Robinson's neck had been broken and spine severed. The local medical examiner said, spine severed, the neck is broken. Like, how much violence has this young lady gone through from these friends around her? What were they doing, and why were they doing this to her? There was another video of Shaquilla herself, filming, about to go into a room with her friends, and they're all looking at her as if perhaps they were having some kind of discussion about her, and she just walked in on it. The person filming everything saying, why didn't you fight back, like this is some joke, is just, it's so dark and demonic, very dark, that you find some kind of satisfaction in this, when clearly your friend is literally just being beaten up. As it's just bizarre, and I feel like the mother and father definitely deserve justice. It seems the friends, so-called friends who were in these videos or whatever, their socials and stuff, they are not responding to stuff. They've either gone private. Apparently they've ran to a different state in the US. There was a news reporter going on knocking on people's doors of these people, and they weren't answering. So it looks like there's just no response. And of course, the public is heated, and this is a conversation that is continuously getting more and more in the public profile, because people want justice, because a murder literally took place. This wouldn't be alcohol poisoning, because why is somebody's spine and neck broken and severed? It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't normally come along with alcohol poisoning. And then when the doctor apparently came into the place, apparently he was there for 3 hours, and there was a time where she could have survived, but she didn't. And it's like, why is the doctor spending 3 hours within the hotel room? Why did the friends not want her to be taken to a hospital? What was going on there? There's just way too many questions. Way too many questions when it comes to this case. There is a GoFundMe link that I have attached of her family's. I believe her sister made the GoFundMe, in the link below, in the pinned comment, and also in the bio. I have donated to this GoFundMe, and if you guys can donate as well, if you guys are in a position to do so, then definitely do so, because I think every amount, no matter what people have, can definitely help when it comes to this case, because we know that legal fees are very expensive, especially in America as well, and they will need all the help that they can get for their child, because this is a massive amount of injustice, and that injustice absolutely infuriates the hell out of me. And I feel like we need to raise awareness, yes, but I also feel like awareness is not enough. Speaking about it is great, but I don't think speaking about it is enough. If you are able to do more, then please do more as well. That's just my motto. I feel like action is more than just a word, because I can speak about it and then call it a day, but provide some action. So there is a GoFundMe there if possible, because I think action is important, and I think that they will definitely need not only all the verbal support, but they need, and not only physical support, but they need financial support as well when it comes to this case, because who knew that they would be dealing with a huge case of their daughter passing away and them needing justice, and they need a lot of money for legal fees. It's very important. So it's nice to see that the world is beginning to rally around them when it comes to this GoFundMe. I believe when it was set up as well, that is great to see, and the fact that everybody is speaking about this, because I feel like people definitely need to raise awareness for this conversation, because it's just so sad. My condolences to her and to her family. This has gone absolutely viral, and as it should. And you know, I don't believe that it was alcohol poisoning. I feel like something else took place, and I feel like, you know, the video of a friend reading it up adds so much credence to this story, because I think it is also just such an important, it's just scary, man. Like, it's just so scary. Your friends are filming you, your friends are beating you up, like, in your mind, in that process, what are you thinking? Like, how could you react? The people that you've come to fly with and you've known for a while are now doing things to you. You don't even know how to react. Mentally, you're not ready, let alone physically. So, and clearly she didn't want to fight back. She wasn't in a position, she just wasn't going to make herself, you know, put herself in danger from her own self. Like, it's just awful. So these friends of hers, I feel like, you know, justice needs to be called and needs to be served, and they need to respond. I believe there probably are more missing pieces to this story that I may not know of, that you guys may know of. So if you guys do, please comment down below so we can educate each other amongst this topic. And, you know, rest in peace to her. This is just such a sad story, man. It's just one of those stories that I believe something that's happened to other people before as well. Like, I've heard something here and there. So just be careful who you are friends with. If you feel uncomfortable around somebody and you may not want to be friends with them, listen to your body and don't be, because you don't know who you could be around and what they could be plotting against you. And, you know, just listen to your gut, because it can just be very scary. And sometimes it may be difficult for you to listen to your gut. Like, you know, we don't know everything in life. So it's just awful. And I felt compelled to make this video and have this conversation, because I've been looking at this topic for the last couple of days, just seeing how awful this whole situation is, and the fact that, you know, people need to raise awareness for this, and if people are able to, also provide financial support, because they definitely need it, because it's going to be a long road ahead for it to go to alcohol poisoning. And different reports are saying XYZ. The FBI said that they are looking into this, and I'm glad that they are, because we need a lot of facilities and services to look into her death and find out why these people allegedly did what they did, and where have they gone, why are they not suddenly responding. If they weren't guilty of anything, they would be clearly wanting to help, clearly being in conversation. They wouldn't want to hide away. Hiding away within itself, you know, can show guilt, especially when there's videos out there showing that this is what her friends were doing to her. So yeah, my condolences, and hopefully her family find justice, and hopefully we receive positive updates in regards to finding out who did this to her, and, you know, her family receiving justice. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, and I'll catch you guys soon.